Hey guys, welcome to Malamations. And in this video, I'm going to do something a little fun today. Is that I'm going to talk about a video game and expose one of my interests in entertainment stuff is that I'm a Star Wars fan. And mostly, what video game am I going to be talking about for Star Wars? Jedi Survivor. I originally just completed this game and I thought it would be worth fun for me to make a video about my experience with the game and a little bit of the first game. And dude, these games were so much fun. They were challenging and it's definitely worth playing. I will say that. So before I start talking about the second game, which I recently finished on my PS5, I'm going to talk a little about of me playing Jedi Fallen Order, which is the first game from the sequel game. So mainly about Jedi Fallen Order, it came out, I want to say 2020. Sorry, I didn't do my research. But I remember how popular this game was, and I decided to play it. And the thing is, I played this one on my brother's Xbox, because it was on the Xbox Game Pass. And I also love the characters. The characters were so unique in the game and the story. I am like, wow. Too bad this is not a TV show. And also, the main point of the first game, I'm going to say, is mainly about you play this character named Cal Kestis, made a crew with Grease, who is a pilot of the ship called the Mantis in the game, and Seer, who is a fallen Jedi who found Grease, that also has a plan for saving the Jedi Fallen Order, even though it's the order doesn't exist anymore because of Order 66. So yeah. And also Marin, who is a Night Sister, which is unique to have a Night Sister as a good guy instead of a villain. And also your loyal companion droid, BD-1. So those are the main characters of the game. But I was saying that the first game is mostly about you fighting against the Empire while being hunted by the Inquisitors, and try to get this Jedi holocron hidden in some Jedi temple that also holds the list of the Jedi of the future, of Force-sensitive children. I don't know. Which, I don't know how they have a list of that because they're not fortune tellers, they're Jedi. Also, I do have a few experience in drama from this game. Certain enemies that I just don't want to mess again. And also, I did not like the ending of the first game. And the reason why is because all my hard work and effort to get this Jedi holocron to build a Jedi army to defeat the Empire, Cal Kestis just destroys it. Why? Do you know the pain of suffering I went through to get that? Okay, so anyways, that's all behind me now, and I just need to get out of my system, you know? Anyways, now to talk about the sequel game, which does mention Cal destroying the holocron, which still brought back this memory of mine from the previous game. But still, I need to look forward to the future than dwell in the past. And now, we are going to be in Coruscant. And of course, you played the same character, but some time passed. So now he has some facial hair and got a little older, still in the rest of the characters, but something happened that caused the crew to split, and you of course end up in Coruscant to do a little job for Saw Gerrera, but you also end up killing another Inquisitor, which turns out this Inquisitor was the one I thought I killed in the last game, which the thing is, I hope I don't have to deal with her again if they're making a third game, because, man, I was shocked that she's still alive, and I just don't want to deal with her again. In my opinion, she's just a bad roaster, okay? this Inquisitor is not good. Anyways, so of course my agents get destroyed, and I end up on a planet called Kaboa, if I am reading the name right. And then we went to, of course, crash planet on there, but luckily we have our pilot Grease, who is willing to help us out with fixing the ship with some weird gyroscope generator thingy in the ship. Something for the hyperdrive. I'm not a mechanic in Star Wars, sadly. And then we end up finding some old 200-year-old droid in Greece's basement of some smuggler hideout named Z. Which, an interesting part about her is that she's from the High Republic and somehow is still functional. And she has a mission that she doesn't remember because her master deleted her memory or give her a memory wipe, so that's not very helpful of like what you're supposed to do. So I end up completing the mission for her, but taking this key card and end up releasing another 200-year-old geezer Jedi from the High Republic era. And of course, and once released, I'm like, oh great, a new ally. And of course, he's missing an arm, so I'm like, oh, a new ally, why not? And then he just turned to the dark side and ended up joining this group on the planet. They call themselves the Raiders. And they're kind of like, I don't know, some off-cast people, like, that has their own congregation or something. And his second command is like some generated alien that grows limbs back. So, yeah, there's a lot to take in there. So, of course, I ended up finding one of my friends I met in Coruscant that survived, named Bode. And now we're off to this adventure. We went to some place called Jeddah, which is another desert planet. Like, what's with Star Wars with desert planets? I want an explanation. Like, Tatooine is cool, but we don't need more desert planets. You can make other terrain out there. Please. I beg of you. And I get to meet one of my old friends, Mirren, which we end up going through this place. Also, there's a weird long-legged creature I can ride on the desert. And, of course, my sister, she's always like, oh, dude, what is that? What's the name of it? Like, she really wants it. And I found out it's called a Smammal. And now I have my trusty steed, Smammal, in the game. I don't know what to name it. Leave a comment down below if you guys want to name my trusty Smammal. So anyways, I end up finding this place, organization, it's in some place called the Hidden Path, where mostly they help give Jedi new identity and try to restore the Jedi Order again with, like, hollow books and such. And, of course, getting me my old friend Seer and someone else who I also thought was dead from the last game, which I forgot his name. I need to do my research. But I thought he was dead, but turns out he's alive. And I don't know. He doesn't explain how or why he's alive. So, yeah. Anyways, sometimes Pants has doing little missions and exploring moons to figure out what is the main villain, Dagon, which is a Jedi that turned bad, wants. But it turns out he wants to go to, like, some mythical planet called Telenor? That is mostly hidden in this Nova cluster called the Abyss, which is known for many smugglers and pirates. That the Abyss is where all ships go to but never return, as in they crashed or died or something. They just never return from there. But somehow Hodanian knows a way to get there. Well, mostly we end up chasing him around in this abandoned moon base that is also 200 years old, and it's not up to code, so I don't feel safe here. to go ahead and find some compass that'll navigate us through the abyss to get to Talonor. And of course, on the moon base, I end up killing his second command, and Regis, who, of course, he regenerates limbs. And I've seen this species before, and the only way to kill the species is by throwing them to the sun, so there's nothing of them left to regenerate. But he asks us, of course, when I beat him, he asks us to give him Warrior's Death, and I chop his head, and of course, Cal chops his head off, and I'm like, I don't think he's dead, because he regenerates, and he might as well come back in the third game, because he's not bad of a character or boss villain. So, I don't think he's dead. So anyways, we end up fighting some Empire, destroying their TIE Fighter base on Kobo. And then we head over to the skyscraper, and Dagon, of course, has a compass, which turns out there's 3 compasses, and 2 were destroyed, and he found a intact one. And of course, Bud and I kill him, which, Cal, you're not acting like a Jedi. You're not supposed to kill. But yeah, here you are killing 3 people, stormtroopers, raiders, battle droids, I let that slide, and living creatures, may I add. So, let's move on. And since you have no sense of control of destroying literally a whole population here. So anyways, we end up back at Jeddah to do some small little visit and repairs. And then I, of course, Cal Kestis, my character, ends up deciding to have a girlfriend with the Night Sister Marin, which I'm going to say this is probably going to be the most powerful couple in any Star Wars media, in my opinion. Like, granted, there's other powerful couple, but I never seen a Jedi and a Night Sister together. So this is, like, very interesting, in my opinion. And then later on, we move on, and it turns out the Empire starts attacking us, and this is where it gets all confusing. Bo kills, I thought was dead Master, and I had to chase him. And it turns out he's a Force wielder, and I'm like, what? And he throws grenades at me, and I cannot even heal, so he killed me. Well, Morag knocked Cal out, and I have nothing to do about it. Then I get to play Seer a little bit, which she feels way too overpowered. And we try to save the place, make an evacuation, and then we ended up finding Darth Vader, who is literally was not even part of the whole story at all. Like, what are you here for? Why are you here? And then, sadly, Seer died, and we ran off and left. And then we move on, try and find a way to chase Bode. We found this Imperial base that's like some ice asteroid. And Bode was hoping for us to kill everyone and destroy everyone. But no, I just want him. I don't care about the stormtroopers, Imperial guards, or the K2SO droids. I don't care. I just want you. Oh, you have a daughter? By the way, your father has made bad life decisions. He killed my friends. Anyways, get him. And then this is the part where it gets interesting. It turns out Cal started using the dark side, which I can literally obliterate anyone. And I also obliterate, like, every stormtrooper, and Imperial officer, and droid in that base, and only left one Captain General to be there. I'm like, well, at least I know I'm powerful enough to destroy a planet without the Death Star. And as we move on, we managed to find another way to get to Talonor through the Abyss, made it, and found Bode's daughter and him, and he was getting a little hard to beat, so I cheated by switching the difficulty mode to story mode because I just want to beat the game. And I'm sorry, that's probably the most disrespect I ever done to any video game, but he got what he deserves. And I kind of did this a few times too with the Rancors and the Frogs. So these 3 enemies, they got what they deserved. They were too hard, and I just wanted to beat the story. They're just not worth my time, you know? And now, I'm going to say the little pros and cons. Like, this game was definitely fun. The story was crazy and wild. And made some enemies that I don't want to deal again and again. And also, I love the customizabilities in this game, where you can change out Cal Kestis, BD1, lightsaber, and the blaster. And also, it's open world game, so technically you can still explore the planets you already visited to get other stuff and secrets and side stories. And also, there's not very many glitches in the game. I'm pretty sure there are glitches in the game, but I managed to find this one after defeating this mini boss I found, and here's a small recording. But before I show you that, I'm just going to say bye, and thank you for watching this video. Farewell. So I am playing my Jedi Survivor game. I killed this guy, and I don't think he's dead. He's just... Oh.